come back during night shift, stay whole shift if you believe delays are not too long. Setting: I was working in a top Asian brand factory in the engineering department. One of my main, and many, tasks was giving support to production with new models and also training staff when product rework was needed. At this point I'm a year into my engineering position and am sick of my work environment, as it was hostile in many ways and was common for me to work 65+ hours almost every week. Overtime was paid. This is relevant later. For reference, my work schedule, in paper, was 5 workdays, with 10.2 hours each day, including breaks and lunch, but I ended up also going most Saturdays, and staying late on weekdays also. The story: one Friday morning, my team manager, Jeff, not real name obviously, requested me to go home and return during second shift, because there was rework needed on some product and they need 2 members from our team during said rework. Jeff's instructions were as follows: go home, get some sleep, come back at the beginning of second shift, give rework instructions to staff members, supervise until they finish and then send me a report with the outcome via email, stay overtime if needed. Simple enough. I just ask about my morning hours, and he states that the time I have worked that morning would be added to my overtime hours and that I work second shift as normal hours, from 7:30 p.m. to 4:20 a.m., and to stay longer if necessary to ensure everything was okay, paid overtime also. This whole exchange was done verbally, but in front of the department manager, so no worries. After talking to me, he went to a co-worker, we will call him Jim, to ask him to also do the same as me. Cool, we agreed and I clocked out at exactly 10 a.m., 2.5 hours into our shift, and then head out to the parking lot. Jim stayed 2 more hours due to another pending issue. Here comes the first problem: I go out to the parking lot, and it's pouring, like Jumanji flooded house pouring. I get to my car and it's blocked by many other cars parked in prohibited positions. We were having big issues with this, not enough parking space, and can't get out to head home. I return to the security guard's post to get out of the rain and call Jeff. He don't pick up, was in a meeting, or so he says, so I call my supervisor, Brad, instead, telling him that I can't leave due to the parking issue. Minutes pass, and Brad comes to the parking lot and has a little flash of genius. He sees his car is not blocked and proposes we switch cars, and exchange back on Monday. I agree and go on my way back home, somewhat tired, hungry and soaking from all the rain. Second problem occurs: the day passes and I head back to the factory just in time for the second shift, only to find out that rework will start only after 11 p.m. due to some production delays. For me it's cool, I get time to do other pending work. As the hour draws near, the product that needed rework was not ready, nor would it be ready by 11 p.m., so Jim called Jeff, told him the situation, to which he stated, if you believe beginning of rework delays too much, go home and please come back on Saturday morning. No additional comment was given from us, we just agreed and he hanged up. Jeff was a fan of people following his instructions to the letter, and as you can imagine, this new statement pissed off the both of us, because Jeff was trying to avoid paying overtime for us just waiting idle and not doing this task, even though we had more activities to do anyways. Also, he was very known for having a silver tongue for making promises and getting out of them for petty reasons. Happened to me already, and I also was kind of annoyed because of the parking lot incident that morning. I lost like 45 minutes in the rain just trying to get out. At the moment I only had 2.5 clocked hours in the morning, and 3 more into the evening. Meaning that even though he said those first 2.5 hours were overtime, I knew that wasn't in writing, so the next 5 or so clocked hours of Saturday morning would not be overtime, and if I didn't go, I wasn't going to have the total regular hours needed that week, and that HR would just deduct them from my overtime hours. At this point, Jim and I looked at each other, and I asked him to repeat what Jeff said on the phone. Cue malicious compliance, Jeff said if you believe. Meaning that his words gave us free will, and we were going to follow his instructions to the letter. We were told by staff, that at midnight rework process would start and at 10 minutes before midnight they would procure people for us to train. We believed this wasn't a big delay, so we rolled the dice. We trained the staff, but product was delayed again. When we asked for new ETA, it was 1 AM. That was perfect. Again, we believed it wasn't a big delay. By the second time we asked, the production supervisor got wind of what we were doing and played along. These 30 to 60 minutes delays continued until 4 AM when finally rework process started, but we only had 20 minutes on shift, to which I remembered the first instruction Jeff said: supervise until they finish and stay overtime if needed. So us being the model employees, we complied. Rework was done by 7:10 AM. Jim took off as soon as we finished. He had worked more hours in the morning. Just as I was sitting to make the report and send it via email, per request, Brad arrives for his overtime shift and was pissed off when he learned we didn't go home and started until 4 AM, and called Jeff to let him know the status of both Jim and I. I explained to Jeff via phone about how we complied exactly how he told us to, and that we were given small delays each time that we didn't believe to be too much. I also told him that Jim already left to sleep, but I could stay if he needed me to. Jeff was not vengeful, just a pain to work with, so nothing bad came out of this. He saw that I had outplayed him in his own game and with his own rules, so he admitted defeat and told me to clock out for the weekend and come until Monday. I got my normal hours plus extra 6 hours after that whole thing. Bonus, I exchanged back cars with Brad that same Saturday morning instead of Monday, which was nice. Oh, and the rework that was done that Friday night had to be redone again on Sunday because someone unrelated to us messed up and Jeff had to go himself to supervise because no one was available from our team. The cheeseburger, baconburger all-inclusive hotel fiasco. So to start off, this isn't my story, it's my husband's malicious compliance. Posted with his permission. I promise this 100% did happen. Time-wise, it happened 10 years ago, in a cheap all-inclusive hotel in Ibiza. My husband was on his stag-do, bachelor party for any US peeps, with a group of pals. There were 8 guys, and they did the whole trip on the cheap. A 2-star all-you-can-eat and drink hotel that cost a crazily low amount of money. So basically, service was never going to be exceptional. The incident takes place at the poolside burger bar, where there were staff on hand cooking up burgers throughout the day. The menu was limited, specifically, you could opt for either a cheeseburger or a baconburger. My husband, being the rebel that he is, decides that what he really fancied was a cheese and bacon burger. He approached the counter, and asked very politely, if you don't mind, can I have a cheeseburger with bacon? The man behind the counter is incredulous, like this question has never been asked before. A cheese and bacon burger, he says, not possible. We only serve cheese or bacon burgers. At this point my husband starts to see red. This is an all-inclusive hotel, he can literally have 10 of each type of each burger for free, but they won't combine the two? He points this out to the burger man, who angrily sticks to his guns. Yes sir, you can have multiple burgers, but you cannot have a cheese and bacon burger. Well, I'm pretty sure at this point you can all guess where this story is heading. Okay, says hubby, then I'll take 1 cheeseburger and 1 bacon burger. Man cooks them and passes them over. Very slowly, and quite deliberately, my husband makes a show of opening both burgers on the countertop. He slowly removes the bacon, and places it on top of the cheese in the cheeseburger. He closes the bun, picks up his now bacon and cheeseburger, and calmly walks away, leaving a now plain hamburger on the countertop. At this point, burger guy is incensed. My husband told me that at the time, he honestly thought the guy was going to lean over the counter and punch him in the face. That's how angry he looked. As my husband is walking away, he screams after him, "You cannot do that." To which my husband replies, "I think I just did." Every time we eat burgers, myself and hubby end up laughing our heads off at the story of the most dramatic burger he ever ate.